Hi, happy Thursday. Fix this flat. I love this blouse. Love this blouse. It is really, really comfy. Hi, everybody. Coming in. Hello. Hi, everyone. She's back. Hi, everyone. Kind of like dark. Let me see if that's even darker. That's lighter, I think. I don't know. The light isn't working for me tonight. But anyway, what's going on, people? Hello, everyone. Hello, Miss Lee. How are you? Hi, everybody. Come on in. Say hello. Come on in. Say hello. Happy Thursday. What's going on? Summer is upon us. And for those of us who have kids, we're still trying to figure out what to do with them. Right? Like, hi from San Antonio, Texas. Hello, Gabby. So my kids have actually been out. So most schools are out, like in Alabama, Mississippi. We've been out. Well, some schools in Alabama are just out this week. Mississippi last week. My boys were exempt from the exam, so they were actually done with school the upper week. And 2 days in, my 11-year-old was already bored. That's the high maintenance baby, aka TJ. He's not there with your dad this week. It's like, hallelujah, Jesus. But 2 days in, he was already bored. And I told him, like, listen, Etiemelu, let me make you understand something. All Jesus is going to ask of me is to make sure that I have fed you and clothed you and sent you to school. Jesus isn't going to ask me if I was able to entertain you during the summer break, because that's no part of my responsibility. I have not taken a job as a parent to entertain your little self. Yeah. So if you're bored, I will get you some chores to do so you'll be on board. And we have not even started summer. But anyway, come on in, everyone. This is Attorney 𝒊𝒎𝒒𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, immigration lawyer based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. Got an immigration case. If it's a case style that we handle, we can and do represent immigration clients in all 50 states, regardless of the state you live in. Let me tell you all what happened real quick. So, as you would have, if you are on my page and social media, you would see that I just came back yesterday. My client had, that was one of the best. When I tell you guys about God's favor, I ain't kidding you. I can sit down and read everything and whatever it is and draft everything and prepare till Jesus comes back. But the one thing that is always clear to me is that when God decides to show you favor before, that's just me. Now, I don't impose my belief on any client. The first thing I usually do with the client is, hey, I would ask you, do you mind if we pray before we go in? I've had a client say no, and that's fine. I just say a little prayer under my breath, and I just ask God for favor. The fact that you don't get a yes that same day doesn't mean his favor is not upon you, but to know that you are going in not of any might or any power of your own, but understanding one thing, that there's a power that is higher than what you know, that has given you what you know, and you're asking him to take control, because the Bible says that the heart of the king is in his hands. Just like a river, he would will it with whichever direction he chooses. So immigration officers are God's people. They're created and they have life because God's breath is in them. So I'm not about to start a church, but I just always feel more comfortable starting and telling the client, I would love to pray. Let us pray, because it's not about what I have done or what you have given me. It's about God showing favor. And I tell you, when God's favor, like when you're literally laughing, almost falling off your chair with an immigration officer, God is, I mean, and then, we had the interview on Monday. We got the notification of approvals yesterday. So it was just a beautiful, beautiful trip. But on the way there Monday at the airport, it just so happens that there was a group of people, it was a family behind me, and I just started hearing them speaking, and they were speaking in Yoruba language. So, and as soon as I heard, I was going to turn back, but then the woman started talking about everybody there. Like y'all people, like in Yoruba people, who is from your own side of the world. And she had a daughter, she had a son, and all three of them were really being nasty. Like I was like, I'm not about to tell people that I don't understand their language, because it was just not good. And then that's what you're going to be saying, thinking people don't understand what you're saying. And it just so happens that I was hearing every single thing they were saying. And I was looking at a point, I was like, you know what? I'm about to say something. Then this lady, this mother is going to look at my hair. See my hair? See my gray? And she's going to tell her kid, she's studying Yoruba language, that she's never going to be able to put her looking like an old woman like that. And as soon as she said that, y'all have to be very proud of me. Very proud of me. But then again, I didn't want to miss my flight. But as soon as she said that, I just turned and I looked right in her face. And I smiled. And you know how you speak with your eyes and your face and your expression, but you're using your words, but you know somebody understands what you're saying? And I tell you, that was the end of their conversation. So it was very clear. As soon as you said that, I let her know I understood exactly what you said, lady, but I ain't going to bring myself to your level. But anyway, let's talk immigration, people. What's going on? What's everybody's plan? Can you believe it's already Friday tomorrow? What's everybody's plan for what? Memorial Day weekend? So let's talk immigration. If you need to contact our office, number is 334-341-4475. Visit our website at @llawfirm.com. Quick reminder, if anyone has, so we have, we're constantly changing. Listen, you run a business, law practice, yes, but it's still a business, right? We're constantly changing. So if anyone has an older consultation link or schedule link prior to yesterday, May 25th, we would ask you to contact our office. Thank you. Listen, I'm someone who at 43, you get to a point in your life where when God gives you the grace to just accept who you are and to love you first, it don't matter what anybody else thinks. You just, and that's what I'm raising my boys. They're still kids. They're going to go through there, but the foundation is what matters. And I think that's because that's how my mother raised me. Anyway, if anyone has the older link prior to yesterday, hello, Miss Melissa, how are you? We've overhauled things, so we have just one link that's going to help you to it simplifies the whole scheduling of consultation and everything. Yes. So do not use any links you have prior to yesterday. Contact our office so we can update, or you can go on the website and you would see the link there. And it's very, very straightforward, very, very self-explanatory, and you'll be fine. Anyway, so if you need to contact us, 334-341-4475. Our website is llawfirm.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram. Share and like our Facebook page. Follow us on TikTok. She's everywhere. All right, let's get right into it. And if you have questions, you already know the drill. Put your questions in the comment section. We will get to them as soon as we can. Or if we have the time, because it's 9:23 and I'm still not done working for today. So let's talk about divorce while I-751 is pending. Divorce while I-751 is pending. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, you can see that on your screen. Should you disclose? Basically, should you let USCIS know that you are going through a divorce or you have gone through a divorce and now you're divorced, but your case is still pending? Now, a lot of people would say, trying to think of what my mom would say in this kind of situation. Uh, no, that's not going to be appropriate in Yoruba language. But some people, and I've had people, you see, when I have a situation where I have more, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on the same issue, I just make it a topic so that somebody else who is thinking about going through the same thing or going through the same thing, you understand where we as immigration attorneys are coming from. You're still going to do what you want to do, and that's fine. But if you can't avoid getting yourself into a whole lot of trouble, why not? And so sometimes I-751 is what you file when you're going from a 2-year green card to a 10-year green card. So basically, you're going from a conditional resident to a full-fledged resident with a 10-year green card. And generally, the main requirement is you have to file with your spouse. That is the default requirement. However, and that means you have to file before the end of your 2nd year anniversary of becoming a conditional resident, but you can file 90 days, up to 90 days before that 2nd year anniversary. However, if you are filing a self-petition 751, meaning you're filing on the basis of divorce, good faith, extreme cruelty, or extreme hardship, you do not have to wait. Hey, Miss Joy, I'm actually going to get in touch with you soon. Give it till next week, but if you don't hear from me by Wednesday, shoot me a text or send me an email, okay? So if you have to file, so if you're not filing jointly with your spouse, you have to do a self-petition, and you do not have to wait 2 years. A lot of people don't know that. If you're doing a self-petition I-751, you do not have to wait the 2-year period before you can file for your 10-year green card. Example, you get your 2-year green card conditional residency today. 2 months from now, you get a divorce from your spouse. You can actually proceed, even though you've only been a conditional resident for 2 months, you can proceed to filing your self-petition and not have to wait the 2 years if you're filing self-petition. Same thing applies if you're filing an extreme cruelty abuse-based self-petition. Same thing applies if you're filing an extreme hardship self-petition. The only requirement to wait a 2-year period is if you're filing jointly with your spouse, which is a general requirement. Now, I'm talking of a case where you have filed jointly with your spouse, you've had your interview, or you haven't had your interview, but now you're going through a divorce, or you have gone through a divorce and now you're divorced. Should you disclose that to USCIS? Short answer, yes. And here's why. The street lawyers are going to tell you, what is that thing to say you're about listening? And all y'all making fun of my Yoruba skills. All my number, all my number, every one of you. So keep doing it. But help me out, my Yoruba people. What is it that when you say she got to you about mom cooking doing or something like that, right? Point being, street lawyers will tell you, well, why are you disclosing something that they are not asking or be in question, for one answer for? That kind of thing, right? But here's why, even if USCIS or Babi answer question, this is why you have to give them answer they didn't ask a question to. Because if you file your 751 and you get a divorce before your 10-year green card is granted, you think you have escaped. Oh, now they didn't know. Oh, wow, I scaled that through. This is where the issue is. You're going to want to, file for citizenship naturalization one day, right? Okay. Guess what? Part of citizenship naturalization application process is they've got to verify that you're a person of good moral character. Good moral character entails that you haven't done anything fraudulent. You haven't done anything that falls within misrepresentation. And they will back up to make sure that before you naturalize, you were actually eligible to become a permanent resident at the time you became a permanent resident. You will think, oh, how are they going to get my divorce decree and divorce documents? It is the United States government. They get records from other people's countries. That's just, they tell you when you've gone to the DMV. They tell you when, I just got a tax bill today. They said, I still haven't paid enough tax. They know exactly what you're doing. They know when you go to the bathroom, and yeah, it's the US government. They will know that you got divorced before your green card was approved. You did not disclose that, your 10-year green card, and that goes against good moral character, number one. Number two, that also can go against you not being eligible to actually obtain your 10-year green card at the time you did, because you obtained it fraudulently. Example, you filed jointly with your spouse, you get a divorce, your 10-year green card comes 6 months after you get a divorce, right? You did not disclose that to USCIS. So basically, they grant you a 10-year green card based on joint filing under the impression that you and your spouse are still married. Meanwhile, what you should have done is to request to convert your case from a joint petition to a self-petition divorce ground and get your green card that way, so that you avoid being labeled as fraudulent and you do not jeopardize you becoming a naturalized citizen. So that's from a legal standpoint. There are street lawyers who will tell you otherwise. That's okay. But I'm telling you something that has landed people that have consulted with me in immigration court because they were found to be ineligible for the green card at the time they got it. A word is enough for the wise. That's it. That's all I have this evening. All right. I'm going to start on. So let me just be clear. If you get a divorce, you're going through a divorce and your case is pending, it was jointly filed, please, please, and please, you've got to notify USCIS. It is better to be safe than sorry. It is better to do what is right, because do you understand? These are people that people are getting conditional residency cards, and now they apply for a 10-year green card. And the same, for instance, divorce decree that they used to get the 2-year green card now being questioned as fake. So the fact that you got a 2-year green card and you're done doesn't mean they're not going to look through everything from the day you decided that you wanted to apply to any kind of visa, be it immigrant visa or non-immigrant visa to the United States. As long as you apply for something there, it becomes part of your record with USCIS, with Department of State, with ICE, everything. Okay. All right. So if you have that kind of case and you want to consult with us, I got to change this information here so that you guys have that. Okay. All right. Let me go to questions. Comments and questions. Okay, there we go. Welcome back. Thank you, Justin. I wasn't going to do Tuesday because I was out of town and I was out. Like, no, that was just too much. Yeah. Hello, Bukola. How are you? Lady B. I've been waiting for you. It's been long. Can you be doing this every 3 days? I'm addicted to you. Thank you. I'm humbled. I am humbled and honored. Thank you for taking time out of everyone's busy. If you live in the United States, we're all we're going from one thing to another. Sometimes I miss Niger for that, like where you can just, put your legs up, like, hey, somebody get me a cup of water. There's no one I can call here. I gotta get up and go get it myself. Because if I tell TJ, hey TJ, give me a butter water, he go, but you're closer to the refrigerator. That's American kid. Listen, I have a remote control right here in Nigeria. Y'all know, right? Your dad or your mom is sitting down. The remote is right in front of them. Abby. That's what my dad used to call me. Abby. Papa, me more remote, like, you can't say it out, but you're thinking in your head, like, are you literally, like, you do you see me? See you? See the remote? You gotta, like, take the remote from close to them and give it to them, and then you go back to what you're from. But anyway, I said it's yeah, everyone is busy, so I thank you for taking time out to watch. But every 3 days, no, y'all don't understand how my day is each day, and I still have to come here and smile. So, and I still have to deal with TJ. But thank you. Just as a Chinese lawyer, Steph, I'm telling you. Thank you. Welcome back. Thank you, people. I love you still. I love you, Daddy Bye. How are you? So is your name Adele as in Niger version or Adele? Hello to you. You see, Adele, hello. Where my brain works. I think your name is Adele. And then you said hello. Say hello. What's that song again? I don't know. To my lights, make me carry face. Okay, Alexander Daniels. Let's see. You mean you're about proverb? Now, my mom's probably laughing because as much as I can speak Yoruba, obviously not fluently, I'm not good in reading it. So bear with me, people. If you're on Instagram, don't laugh. Okay, Alexander Daniels, you're gonna have to explain because I don't think you even what you wrote is right. No, I will challenge you on this one. Y'all on Facebook and YouTube, you can see what is on the screen, but I cannot. No, that cannot even be Yoruba language in any way, shape, or form. No, you're not even going to sell that for me. No way. That's not true. I'm going to Instagram. Hello, Mr. Stanley. How are you? The analyst, the visa for K1 visa, is it I-130 or I-129F? That's where you know you need a lawyer because I-130, I-129F is not a visa. It's a visa petition. So the one for the K1 visa is I-29F. But if you're trying to figure out, hey, Miss Woolley, hello, girl, how are you? That's one of my bestest girl. Like she knows me like the back of her hands. And she, we work together, and she knows when we're in court, right? When she already knows that somebody says something, she has a look that she gives me, and that look is like, don't do it, don't say it, don't say it. Like, no, I feel you. Don't say it. Yeah, right. Hi. She's like, don't say it. Don't say it. Good to see you here, though. Okay, let me go on Instagram. Let's see. Okay, y'all on Instagram ask too many questions. Let's see. Hey, Miss Lily, that's my girl. Someone texted me the other day, like, can I ask her to help me get a free consultation from you? I'm like, that may work, but no, I won't. She doesn't know you, so don't do it. So don't do it. Leave her alone. Yeah, I didn't tell you that. So that's listen, I don't even know if you know the person, but okay, let's see. Your hair is beautiful. Thank you. Hello, Mr. Taiwo. How are you? Let's see. Okay, Miss Joy, don't forget, send me a reminder. Do you treat asylum cases? Yes. Okay. Good evening, sister lawyer. What triggers, and this is from 𝒊𝒎𝒏𝒂𝒏𝒕, what triggers deportation proceeding in marriage-based cases that have been denied? There are different factors that I've seen. One main factor being the state that you live in. Some field offices are very, very quick to issue, when you deny, because once it is denied, it goes in their system, and they would issue you, and then the next DHS issues you an NTA, and that's because information is being transmitted from that field office. So I've seen that there are some states that are quick in issuing, and where you would quickly get NTAs, and there's some states that I have clients have been denied 2-3 times and no NTA. That's one big factor that I've seen. Another is when you repeatedly file cases and you've had like 2 denials, that raises red flags. Or if the denial is, and this is just general, it's not specific to anyone, or if your denial is relating to allegation of fraud, where they found it to be a sham marriage and it was a fraudulent marriage just to get a green card, those are, and if your denial is based on that, not everybody, obviously, those are situations where they tend to issue NTAs rather quickly. What's the timeline to get your green card after VA approval if your I-360 and 45 was concurrently filed, considering that your priority date is current? It's not about whether your priority date is current. It's about how long it's taking. Priority date has to do with whether it being current or not, has to do with you being able to file that application. So it has nothing to do with timeline. Where your priority date now, specifically, be saying priority date is current has to do with whether or not you're able to file that application. Now, priority date being within normal processing time is what determines how long it's going to take your case. So they're 2 separate things. So I don't want people to mix that up. And how the timeline, you'll have to go in processing time, USCIS.gov/ processing times and see. And 485 really, really depends on the state and the field office that has jurisdiction over your case. Because keep in mind, the fact that you filed something concurrently does not mean it's going to be the same timeline to get the 485 approved, because when Information Service Center is done with your case, they transfer your entire file to the field office is going to have jurisdiction over you to decide whether or not they're going to schedule an interview in your case or not. So, and then field offices are state specific. And so it depends on the volume of work they have. And that's why if you go on pressing time and you put in 485, you're not necessarily seeing, you're going to be seeing a whole host of field offices options, rather than if you put in a petition where you're just going to be seeing service centers. Okay. 𝐈𝐫𝐵𝒕201. When can I apply for 10-year green card if my wedding anniversary is 2 years, but I got conditional green card 1 year and 8 months? You can apply for a 10-year green card based on marriage if you have been a green card holder, meaning you've been a legal permanent resident for at least 3 years and you're still married to that citizen. You're able to file 90 days before the 3rd year anniversary of you becoming a green card holder. It has nothing to do with how long you've been married. It has to do with how long you've been a legal permanent resident. How long does it take to be invited for biometrics after submitting? Average of, listen, I can't even give you average, because Vermont Service Center has been, yeah, whatever this means translates to in word. Do you take J1 waiver cases? Yes. I don't care for them that much because of the timeline right now. I used to enjoy doing J1 waivers, and speaking as someone who's been, when I tell you guys I've been on all kind of visas, speaking as someone who's been on a J2 visa, because I was married to a J1 visa holder and subjected to the 2-year residency rule. That's why I ended up in the South. And that time was real fast. But then again, it depends, because the one we were subjected to was, my ex-husband is a physician. So we had to come to rural health area. And so there's one for physicians where, their timeline is faster because they're needed. But COVID has changed a lot. And since COVID, it hasn't really been enjoyable for me. But I still do, depending on, like, I love the no objection statement because that's pretty straightforward. And I love the hardship one. But that is, as much as I love that, that's taking forever. Good evening, Miss Olabisi. How are you? Lance Deroy, I did my marriage interview since January 11. I have to tell you guys, as much as, listen, I try as much every day to work by faith, but we all have those thoughts in our heads. And so for me, yesterday, no, so yes, all through yesterday when we left the interview, and because these days hardly do they tell you, okay, they'll tell you, no, we'll make a decision, yada yada yada. And so we had, it was a good interview, but all through yesterday before I got notifications like, oh Lord, please don't let us wait another 30 days. But then I already told my clients, I said, listen, 30 days is usually every time. But to just see the day after, it was just God and just gratitude all the way. And they're just a great, great couple. I'm telling you, the wife is hilarious. Like, I just love her spirit. Like, but anyway, January 11 is not too long too long ago. I have people waiting 2 years. Hopefully you're not going to wait 2 years. But when they tell you your case needs further review, then there's something that's stopping them from giving. When you separated from your spouse during your interview, if you were, then that is sometimes that is significant of them doubting something. Would a previously denied asylum case delay an I-485? If your case was denied, when it was denied, were you still in valid status? Are you in immigration court? Are you, removal proceedings? What is it? There's a whole lot. It's just not straightforward answer. Tara Benson, how can I get Canada visa from Dubai? I don't do Canadian immigration. What do I do when the original birth certificate got lost at USCIS? How do I get it certified? That's not an immigration question, but you can go to your state vital office if you're talking of someone who's a citizen here to help you get another one. You're welcome. Jack of Fam. So what's your question? Will I still get NOID? I don't want you to think that way, because if you followed me and listened to me enough, you already know my brain doesn't work that way and never anticipate defeat. If it happens, it happens. But I don't want you thinking, will I still get a notice of intent tonight because you got. But now here's reality. Whenever there is, and everybody needs to hear it, whenever you've had a prior case, be it a prior VAW case, a prior marriage case, and you've gotten a denial or withdrawal of a petition, whatever case may be, that will be factored in a VAW case, in any subsequent case, because that is just what it is. So our STEMA clients see the fact that we're switching over to a VAW case, or that was denied and we're starting a VAW case, does not mean that is the end of that. That's the end of what you're going to hear. So we would have to anticipate that we're going to be facing the same issues, but we're going to stay positive that somehow they will forget and whatever. So it is good to be realistic with yourself, but at the same time, don't expect to be defeated. I don't know if that makes sense. Last year, you were not separated. So January is not long. It's not even 6 months yet, so you still may get an approval. Let's see. Beauty Braids Official, what is your question that wasn't answered? There's no question that I'm picking out, but there are some questions that I will not answer, which is too specific for your own confidentiality. I'm an attorney, so I will not There's some questions I will go through and I will not say it because it's too detailed and too specific, and I cannot do that. Aziz Chance, can a U.S. citizen who is an ex-felon petition for his or her spouse? Yes, the fact that the petitioner is a convicted felon does not mean that, well, when you say ex-felon, unless your record has been expunged, but if you've been convicted of a felony, you are a convicted felon. But that does not prevent you from filing a petition. But what the one thing that usually poses a problem where petitioners may be barred from filing a petition is if they have been convicted on a crime that falls within the AWA Act, the Adam Walsh Act, which is sexual offenses. So if that person has been convicted on any of the offenses that's listed under that act, and they're not able to prove that they don't pose what's the word I'm looking for? A danger to the spouse or the stepchildren, whatever the case may be, then they probably would never be able to petition for anybody. So outside of that, generally no. Generally you're fine. You can apply for a tourist visa, but the general rule is, do you treat asylum cases? That's your question, Beauty Braids Official. I already answered that question like 200 minutes ago. But you can apply for visitor visa depending on where you are. But if they did tell you, they have the right, they reserve the right to tell you to go apply in your home country. Okay. All right. Let me go back real quick to Facebook and YouTube, and I will be out of here. Deborah Gibson, congratulations. Your petition has been approved. The longest part, so Deborah's asking on YouTube, what happens when a bar case was put in since 2018, it was not approved until February 22? How long to get a green card? Hey, Big Movement, how are you? The longest part, really, if you look at it this way, the longest part of the whole VA process is the VA petition itself. That's the longest part of it, because that's what really needs to be approved. Without that, you can't get the green card if you're filing a VA. So don't let it. How long is it going to take? I've already answered that question earlier on, but it shouldn't take 4 years like it took the petition itself. Lady B, give it 30 days. Expedite approval. They usually say give you 30 days. It's not 30 days since May 5th. So give you 30 days. And if after 30 days still nothing, then you can go ahead and call. What are the chances of getting approved after a notice of intent to deny? Knock on wood. I think I don't have, I'm looking at all the wood here, but I don't have any notice of intent to deny that I have responded to on behalf of a client that came back, done approval. Knock on wood, knock on wood, knock on wood, knock, 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 knock. Okay. But I don't like notice of intent to deny because they're already made up their mind that, okay, we reviewed everything, we're still not convinced. This is your last shot to convince us. So as far as the chance of getting approved depends on what the grounds are. And if you're able to rebut all the allegations that they have made, there's a notice of intent to deny. Look at it like, this people are on something. They're on something, because if you don't think this is enough evidence, then you've all lost your minds in the Vermont Service Center. How would you know if your case, what has happened in the cases that I've represented client is we get a transfer notice that it's been transferred to your field office. Now, they're not that, and let me just say this real quick. What I'm seeing and what I've experienced with some clients is we're getting to call. We filed an I-130. We call because it's out in our present time, only to be told that the petition was transferred to another service center that is now going to push you even further back because that service center has a longer processing time. They're not even, and the question then is, why did we not get a transfer notice? Like, well, we don't know, but right now we're not really sending out transfer notices. Makes no sense, but that's what's going on with certain I-130s. But as far as our cases, I've always gotten transfer notices whenever those have been transferred. Okay. All right, people. Alexander Daniels, I still don't buy your Yoruba translation. No. What happens when so Deborah Gibson is asking, what happens when a vow is approved? My oldest and married 27 years son name didn't come out on the approved vow, only the youngest too, because he if it's 27, obviously he must have been over the age of 21 when you filed. So the youngest two, I would assume they were under the age of 21 when you filed. And so that would be my best guess. I can't speak to your case because I don't know about your case. Okay. All right, people. Thank you for joining me this evening. Once again, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like and share our Facebook page. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Instagram. And if we can help you with your immigration case, you can contact us on 334-341-4475. Visit our website at olalayalawfirm.com. And I have quite a handful of my clients on here. Bear with me. I know some of you are waiting on me to send you your review documents. I'm just getting back. I was in court this morning for criminal cases. So just trying to make sure I don't go crazy and still do what I got to do for everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Almost. All righty. So see you guys next time.